All right, my technical people are telling me that we're live and that we're ready to go. So I hope that all of our watch parties are ready to go. Good evening, everyone. This is Thud Hill, Executive Director Timothy Hill, as you can see on the screen. So I'm obviously slow enough that I need prompts to read the screen and know what my own name is. So hopefully I'll get more right than just that tonight. But we're really excited that you guys are here to join us. We have people watching tonight and have watch parties in Tennessee, in Arkansas, in Massachusetts, in New York, in Florida, in Oklahoma, and I may possibly be missing another state or two, but we're really excited to have people joining us. This is our first virtual gala. Obviously, with COVID, we've not had our typical gala, and this is typically an event that we host for Long Island to connect with our friends and businesses that are supportive of us, churches that are supportive of us, and gives our Long Island community an opportunity. So with COVID, this has given us a unique opportunity to be able to still connect with our Long Island community, but open it up a little bit broader. So we have board members in multiple states and we have friends in multiple states. And so it's an exciting opportunity for us to get to connect with people in a unique way. So we hope that you guys are going to enjoy what we have for you tonight. Before I go into a little bit of the event of the evening, we're going to be spending just right about an hour, so we're going to be very respectful of your time, but there's going to be a lot of people sharing and quite a bit of information coming your way. So we hope it's going to be a blessing to you tonight. We thank you for joining us on behalf of Timothy Hill Ranch as an organization, the board of directors, the staff, the residents who we serve, and we are honored that you are partners with us, friends with us, and getting to be with us tonight. I'm going to ask Cliff Clark, who is the chairman of our board, to word a word of greeting from our board of directors, as well as open us up with a prayer this evening. So Cliff, if you would be so kind, with his wife, Tish Clark, right next to them.
Yeah.
Him.
Thank you, Thud. And on behalf of the board, just want to include or add to what Thud said is we're really grateful that you're here. Tish and I knew Timothy when he was alive. He was killed on May 11th, 1972 in a tragic bicycle truck accident. He had a dream. He had a dream that someday there would be a working ranch for abused boys, was his primary dream at that time. He was thinking about boys, but we've expanded from just young men and women. And Fern and Jerry, the legends, the founders, knew that dream. They read his diary, they knew the dream. Fern wrote a book about it called Graduation to Glory. Most tragic thing that a parent could ever have happen is the loss of a child, and to take that and turn it into such a great blessing that they have for so many young men and women, and to not have it crush them as a couple and just as a community is a great testament to their faith and their courage and their strength. And the ranch is here now. We just opened our license. We're licensed in our third state. We just licensed in September in Arkansas. So we're licensed for foster care in New York, in Tennessee, and in Arkansas. And we also have a camp for summer camp and retreats and year-round camps in Massachusetts in the Berkshires, 90 acres on a 100-acre lake. A boy's dream in 1972, now in 2020, has probably gotten beyond what his dream was. And it's because of folks like you. It's because of people care. The board of directors, we've got an incredible board of directors. And, just really, it's a wonderful program. If you're new to it, just come and visit us. And if you've been here a while, thank you for your loyalty and your years of service. There'll be more on that, and you'll hear some of the young men and women possibly speak and give their own testimony. So I'll just ask if you'd just reflect for a minute on the fact that we are always in the presence of God and that he's here. And though we're scattered around many states all over the country, he's there, he's here, he's God. And so let's lift up a prayer. Father God, we know that we really can do nothing that really is great and important without your blessing, without your help. We can so easily and so often can chase other things. We can chase whatever it is we chase, Lord. Sometimes we worship things that are not worthy of our worship. And I pray that you'd help us to see that more clearly, what's important to invest our time and ourselves into. And I pray you'd start with me, help me to be better at that. Father, I thank you for each person who's here, each family represented. Family, Father. Family is so important. And we minister to those who are from broken families in so many ways. And we thank you that, Father, that these young men and women are not the cause. They're the victims sometimes of broken homes. And we just thank you for bringing us young men and women who want to make it, who want to be productive and want to do the things that are good and don't end up with bad outcomes. And we thank you that we have the privilege to serve that population, that community. I pray a blessing on each one of our residents. And thank you for the staff that we have that is so dedicated beyond a paycheck, that they're dedicated to the very cause of helping father the fatherless and to mother the motherless, and to be relevant in a time where there's so much division, so many challenges, and so much need for people to be treated fairly and equally. And that's the model at the ranch. And I thank you for those who have put it in place and those who live it. And we are grateful for all you've given us and do for us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Cliff. Appreciate the words from the board, your words of love. And Cliff and Tish have been walking with Timothy Hill Ranch pretty much throughout its duration. His father served on our board of directors, Bill Clark, and they've had a business for a few short years of about 350 years on the east end of Long Island, and they've been great supporters of our organization. Cliff's been a mentor of mine, and just very grateful for the relationship that we have. I just want to turn your attention very briefly to our sponsors for this evening, those who've chosen to kind of help underwrite what they typically what we would do in terms of tables. And several of those people that are sponsoring are also hosting little parties at their home or at their business where they're having a group of 5 or 10 couples. I think our winners tonight are from, as far as attendees, is Ocean Electric and Jeff and Helen DeLandro, who I think have 14 couples at their place of business tonight. And they have kind of their own little banquet hall and setting up. But we're very grateful for everyone who is able to attend. Thank you. Good to see you guys over there. And grateful for all of our hosts. We have Craig Amadimo and his wife hosting a party. We have Paul Crouch and his wife hosting a party in Oklahoma. We've got people from Florida watching. So we're very grateful for all of our sponsors that are able to come and help make this event a success for us this evening and helping us as we're working to continue advancing this organization. So we're going to do a few things tonight. First, we have 2 people that we want to honor and have been very special to the ranch as friends of the ranch. One is Derek Peterson, who is on our board and is our treasurer. He's doing some pretty cool things and amazing stuff with his company. And so he is our business of the year, and we're going to show a video recognizing Solar Technologies and all they do. And they're actually doing some things that are revolutionary, not just in Long Island, not just in America, but internationally. And so we've got a quick video that gives a little highlight of who he is and what he's about. And then Derek, if you want to say a brief word or two, we're welcome to allow you to do that. But Brian, if you could, let's go ahead and play that video and learn a little bit about Derek and Adrian, his wife, right next to him. Adrian, good to see you too, and all of his crew there. But Brian, go ahead and play that video. Thank you.
I graduated high school at 5'1", about 110 pounds. So I was the tiniest kid in my graduating class. When I lined up in size order, I was first. So being the smallest kid, guess what happens? You get bullied. So when it was time for kids to be stuffed in lockers, I was that guy. When it was wedgie time in the locker room, I was that guy. I could tell you all kinds of stories of just things that are cruel, but at the time were laughable to other kids. And so I survived. I mean, it's not the best thing. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody. So it always back in my mind is always like, I want to do something. So quote unquote, revenge of the nerds. So my name is Derek Peterson. Right now we're in my engineering office at my company Solder Technologies in Ronkonkoma, New York. Product symptom sense and some highlights. So we've started shipping globally. I've got devices that are slated to go to Russia. I shipped into the UK. I've shipped also to get devices to the NFL. I shipped devices to Major League Baseball. I've got devices that I went to One Police Plaza for NYPD. I've got devices slated to go to LA County Sheriff's Department. I can go on and on, lists from around the country, around the world. Next thing you know, I'm standing in front of Good Morning America cameras and interviewing me. I'm like, look what this guy created. I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. And then from that, we've done, I think, every major news broadcast from Good Morning America, CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, the Today Show. Actually did the Today Show twice. And I just took off from there. I'm very appreciative. My business is not only run by me, it's run by my other partner, and it's run by my staff. It's a big family event. So when I say family, I think it's also my people who work for me. They know what I'm about, you know, God first. And being honorary to the ranch, I was told, Thud, you got the wrong name. I said, you really should just, I really tried not to accept it. Because in my head, I'm doing, you know, God's work. So you don't accept the job that you're already supposed to be doing. So like, you know, reward. So it was a little tough for me and humbling to accept. I was inspired by Thud. This is my kind of guy. Anytime he wants to do something in regards to expand the ranch, he already knows my mindset. I'm like, let's go, we could do this. Let's make it happen. Fern and Jerry, I mean, they're like, you know, the book of Hebrews talks about, you know, be careful because sometimes you may be entertaining angels. They are truly physical angels that you know you're entertaining on earth. And just being around the boys, I love being around the boys, especially with the little pull-up bars outside. Anytime I'm coming back from a meeting there and I see the boys outside, I'm always, let's go, guys. How many pull-ups everybody doing? Let's go. I'm going to beat you all. All right, I'll add everybody up right now. Whatever you guys bet, I'll double it. And so they get a kick out of that when I'm able to do that. So to the youth at the ranch, both boys and girls, I would always say never give up and never give up on your dreams, because all throughout my life, I was always considered the underdog and you're never going to achieve anything. I was always the runt of any sports I played, especially in high school. I always got cut from the basketball team. I barely made my varsity soccer team. I don't know if everyone knows that because I love soccer, but I barely made a team. I didn't get a lot of playing time, but I did make a team. Might have been a charity contribution. They put me on the team. But however, I did grow a foot in a year, and I was able to play college basketball and soccer. So that's a win there. And then I had a hard time just getting through college. I was not the A student in school. People think, oh, you're so smart, but I didn't take tests well. So I was not an A student, but I had perseverance, and that got me through it. And then I found God, and then the rest is history.
Thank you, Derek. It's really an honor and a privilege to recognize Solder Technologies and Derek Peterson as our Business of the Year. He continues to faithfully serve Timothy Hill, and he and his wife and his business have been standing behind this organization, and we're really excited about some of the unbelievable growth that's happening within his world. And I know his sometimes his head spinning. We've had some conversations when he's Zoom calling 20 different countries at one time, and everybody trying to figure out how they can get devices like this to open up their country from things like this pandemic. So there's some pretty cool things that he's doing, and we're very honored to have a partnership with him. And we also want to recognize.
Thud, may I step in here a second, please, before you leave, Derek?
I guess you are, since you're the chairman.
I'm sorry about that.
The only thing I'm going to step in here to say is, Derek, you didn't tell everybody else what it is you did, what you're sending around the world. I think that's just an incredibly exciting story, both the vaping detector and the thing that can be used to detect COVID.
Go ahead, Derek.
Okay. First of all, I thank everybody, my friends and family and people here gathered with me for the prestigious award. What we've created right now is a device that is able to scan for multiple vitals in a single pass. So we can scan for vitals such as your blood oxidation level, your temperature, your heart rate, respiration rates, and they're all key vitals for understanding if somebody potentially has COVID. And so by us releasing the first device of the kind like that, the world has been beating a path through our doorway. And we've been shipping it all over the place. Matter of fact, we just had a big installation this week at the LA County Sheriff's Department. That went spectacularly well. We shipped 2 devices last week to Russia. We've got a device that went out to Colorado, I think, Travis. Yes. And they're going out the loading docks faster than we can imagine. And we can't believe we're actually doing this. Small company on Long Island, and we've got kings and queens from all around the world calling us. Can you help us open up? We just got we're about to take a major order from in Greece also. So there's lots going on.
Well, thank you, Derek, and for what you're doing. That's helping people open up their countries, and what an unbelievable invention that this is. And this is one of several inventions that Derek's got going. And yeah, it's a great think tank and a great organization. So we're grateful for Soder Technologies and their partnership. And we want to also recognize tonight Keith Davis. Keith is a former board member for probably the better part of 10 years. He's been a business owner on the East End of Long Island, established probably about 25 years ago. And he's been a tremendous friend to the organization. He and I kid each other a lot. He's a New Yorker with a big heart. He's kind of sort of got a big mouth too, but so do I. So we feed off each other really well. But we have a little video, and Keith and Derek got these videos, some video things taken of them, but they didn't actually see the video before tonight. So they're kind of seeing these for the first time as well. But we're going to play Keith's video, and then Keith, we'd love you to jump up and share a little bit about your life.
Founder, president of the Golden Pear Cafes, and we are in the village of Southampton, New York. I opened this place when I was 24 years old, and people told me I was nuts, but I had a dream, I had a vision, I saw it, and it was an opportunity, so I figured let's give it a try, So we're coming up on completing 33 years here in Southampton. The cafes are typically very busy, even all year round, but Memorial Day to Labor Day is actually insane. Lines out the door. I probably work too much, and the joy of my life is my wife. Without her, forget it. None of this would be possible. And so I'm so grateful that God has given me a life partner that helps me deal with what we're dealing with, and is such an incredible support person who cares about me and cares about the business. We had a real need for staffing, and I was talking to Thud about something, and then he said, hey, listen, we've got some guys that may be able to help you out. So we had a few guys working here in Southampton and a few in Bridgehampton, and they were very helpful. I think it was a good experience for them. It was definitely helpful, for us. So worked out great. I was, really very humbled, and honored that our relationship with the ranch matured and came to a place where this has happened. So, my love for the ranch will continue. I'm going to continue to play golf with Thud.
Can you beat him?
I think I can. I think I can, and I think I have.
Golden Pear Cafe has always been a great supporter of Timothy Hill. Keith used to serve on our board, and Keith is actually employing a couple of our guys in our transitional program, 18 to 25-year-old guys, and really excited to have the relationship with Keith, and he does a great job fundraising and being a great ambassador for us.
I think our mission at Golden Pear and Timothy Hill Children's Ranch, does have some synchronicity to it. Our mission is to provide our customers with an extraordinary experience every time they visit, so that they return again. Because we don't want a customer for one time. You want them multiple times throughout the year and for life, So hospitality, and relationships with people is extremely important. And, you know, I sense the same with the ranch. There's so much human interaction, care and concern and well-being for people. If it wasn't for Jesus Christ, the golden pair would not exist. It's just that simple. The golden pair is a gift. It's a gift from God, and a responsibility, and it's an assignment. It's my life assignment. I think that the Diaz would probably say the same thing, that his assignment is the Timothy Hill Children's Ranch and caring for those young lives and really developing them and improving them, etc. And what's kind of funny is, you know, the golden pair's logo is a beautiful pear, and the Timothy Hill Children's Ranch is a beautiful little apple. In the morning, when you open your eyes and you're starting a new day and your mind and your heart is clear, that is like the best time to feed on the Word of God. It actually sets your day in such a better motion. So I know that there are struggles, and the struggles are going to be lifelong. Get in the Word and stay in the Word. Get in prayer and stay in prayer. Get in a church and stay in a church. And that will be the best thing for your life and for your future. So I know these guys and these gals, they're young. Some of them are, you know, still teenagers, you know, and Rob and Joe and those guys are in the transitional program, and they're 19, 20, 21-ish, you know, that time there. And they're so young. But that's the time to start really getting in there, you know, because that will give you the foundation of faith to live your life.
Well, thank you, Keith. I'd like to just go live if we could to Keith. And Keith, obviously, first time you've seen the video, and just if you'd like to share a couple words. Keith's been a great ambassador with connecting us with people in Southampton and introducing us to people on the East End, as well as employing our guys. And he's been a guy connected to us now for probably the better part of 15 years. And so just really appreciate Keith. And it's the first time that we're recognizing the golden pair in this way. But thank you, Keith. Thank you to Ann, to your wife, and to the golden pair family. And just would like you to share a few words, if you would, please.
Well, very, as my wife is, Ann. That was a great video. I got a little bit of tears in my eyes over that. You know, it was very well done. And I feel like I'm part of the ranch family. Some of the things that I had talked about was when Jerry and Fern, you know, came to First Church and spoke about the ranch and gave a great message. And that was the first time that I had ever met them. And my pastor, Dr. Bill Johnson, was on the board. And, you know, he kind of introduced me to Jerry and Fern, and along with other members of First Church. And that was our first experience in meeting the family, the Hill family. And then things progressed with going over and seeing the ranch and meeting the team and seeing everything that was going on there. And you could sense that God was moving and that God was doing things. So it's all good. I'm glad to be a part of it. That's it.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. Some people were asking about mentioning, by the way, that there was an echo, and the host is muting me and unmuting me, and sometimes if they don't mute me right away, then there's an echo. So I apologize for that. We'll try to clean that up. I'm actually in Massachusetts tonight, not in New York, but we're going to have some of our team coming to you from New York in a little bit. But yeah, Keith, we love you. You know, Derek, you know, you guys, we love you, and we know you guys love us. And, you know, love is, we talk a lot about that word at the ranch. The vision statement of Timothy Hill is transforming lives through Christ's love. And we talk about love as a verb, it's an action, and it's got to look like something. And, you know, there's tangible seeds and tangible fruit that has come from the love that Derek and Soder Technologies and Adrian have planted, as well as Keith and Ann and the Golden Pear family. And so it is our honor to honor you guys tonight, and hope that this will just be an encouragement to the people who are watching that, what these guys have done is a little bit over an extended period of time, and it's added up to a whole lot. And I think it is with any relationship, when you're planting little seeds along the way, and a day turns into a week, turns into a month, turns into 15 years, all of a sudden you look back and realize, wow, we've had a hand in something really special. And that's what we see every day with the young people we work with. Mom always said that we're seed planters, not people fixers. And, that's our job, is to love people well and plant seeds, but it's got to look like something. So these guys have shown it, and not just talked about it, but shown it for a long time. And so we're very grateful. So for the next little bit of this next section, we're going to actually take everybody on a small virtual tour. We didn't necessarily have our camera crew going out and showing videos, but we did want everybody, because we do have several new people that are in the rooms here tonight that have not necessarily seen and had the opportunity to see what it looks like in New York, what it looks like in Massachusetts, what it looks like in Tennessee, and most recently in Arkansas. So we wanted to give everybody an opportunity to just get a little bit of a snapshot. So we have a short little 2-minute video on each site. We're going to kind of scroll through those, and then I'll get back to you and kind of talk to you about what we're going to do next. So, but thank you for staying tuned, and hopefully this is interactive enough. It's exciting you, because I know I can get boring and stale and monotonous. So I have a good crew behind me that's helping to keep this thing fresh. So crew, keep us fresh. Let's get some videos rolling.
Well, this is our beautiful Wright House, where our transitional residents reside. This is our cream of the crop, if you will. We're so excited about this building here. It's a brand new renovation now. We have 9 residents here. We're able to have a capacity of up to total of 12, but actually 15, the way that we've set it up. And we can't wait to get it all completely filled up, just meeting the needs of the youth that we have the privilege and honor of serving. As we move along right here, you can see we have a wraparound porch. It's just a beautiful building that God has blessed us with. Coming around here, our campus, we have 85 acres, beautiful campus here. We have our pond, man-made pond right down there that we use. We just wrapped it up about a few weeks ago, where the kids can come out and have a time of swimming in the pool, in the pond. As you can see, it's wide open land and space, and they use every inch of it every day. Our own transitional guys, they do the landscaping as well, working along with our trained professionals, of course. You see our grounds are well kept, and that's a lot of that is due to the work that they do and our residents we have the privilege of working with. The building you see down in the far right down there, that's another transitional building that we have, just waiting and ready for some more occupants to come on in. But it's a beautiful, beautiful campus, as you can see. To our left over here is our administrative building, and that's where our executive director and all of our administrators reside at, and most of the clinical team is there as well. We have amazing staff there that do an outstanding job at meeting the needs of our residents as well. So yeah, my name is Will Ashley, and I have the privilege to be the director of our program, along with my co-partner, Elijah Sanford. He works alongside of me. We're partners in this together, but we have a joy for serving the kids. So take care.
Hey everybody, welcome from Norwich Lake. We're just hanging out. Got some gorgeous weather up here. Horses are definitely enjoying it. We've been out riding and playing on them a lot. Got our new fence our guys made for us. Got a lot of really positive changes coming. I want to start off would love, I know we've got a gala going on, but would love any chance you guys get to come up and visit. We'd love to host you, kind of share what we've got. I'll let you ride the horses. They'll be here for a little bit longer, so I'd love to have you come up. We've got our lodge, we've got all these colors going on, enjoying the fall. We'll go up the steps here. This is our front entrance of the lodge.
If you don't know the story, you got to ask Thud about all of our chandeliers, the wall hangings that go throughout the place. So here's the front of our campsite, our campus, down by the waterfront. A little cold to be swimming right now, but getting in the boats, getting out there once again. Where I keep coming back to is just relaxing, and the serenity of the place is, well, a lot better if you just kind of see what we're talking about, as opposed to me just going over the words on it. But here's what we've got. Here's what we're looking at. We'd love to have you come visit.
Welcome to the retreat at Center Hill Lake. It's a wonderful campus here in Smithville, Tennessee. What you're looking at right now is the lodge, which has been renovated just a couple of years ago. Rooms are beautiful. Most of them face the lake. And it's just a great place for our groups to stay and individuals and families to come and visit. Just some great views of the lake. I'll kind of pan over here to our private dock. We also rent out pontoons through our partner JB's, which is right up the street. The lake here, Center Hill Lake, it's been around since the 40s. Of course, it's a dammed river, just like many lakes in the state of Tennessee. But we've got lots of great opportunities for fishing and lots of water activity. Scan back around, and again, here's the lodge again. Up at the top of the hill there, you'll see in the center of the screen, you'll see the Hollies, which is a quadplex, kind of 4 suites that have full-size kitchens. Very nice for kind of an overflow of the lodge, or just for someone or their family to come and visit and stay with us. Again, some great views from those balconies. Here is the Hickory Cafe. The Hickory Cafe is where we serve our meals for all our catering events. Lots of our groups do use us for catering. Our food is just fantastic. We've gotten so many good compliments about our food. One of them saying, even this week we had a group in that said, wow, this is not camp food. This is unbelievable. This is wonderful. So I guess his expectation was camp food, and we exceeded expectations by far. We have a pavilion here and many other cabins on campus as well that are available to rent for a couple days or for a week. And again, we just have a lot of individuals and families and groups that come visit us. But as you can see, it's October, and we are at peak color from the leaves and the trees. It's just a beautiful, beautiful campus that I encourage all of you to come visit and to spend some time in this wonderful, wonderful place that God has created.
Hey guys, this is Thaddeus Hill, Executive Director of Timothy Hill. Just sitting here in Searcy, Arkansas at our newest campus. We had the privilege on September 28th to close on a piece of property that we have been working on over the last several months, but this has been a project that's been in the dream for the last several years. And we're very excited to partner with the state of Arkansas and Department of Human Services here, Children and Families, to get the opportunity to serve transitional age young people 18 to 21. You're getting a chance to just see a little bit of our campus right here with the house behind us. We purchased it yesterday, demoing it today. We have contractors starting tomorrow, and our goal is to, by November 1st, to have young people starting to reside in this place. So it really has been a blessing to see God open up this place for us. And received our license last week, so we're really excited that the contract and the licensing process has been completed. And with a few modifications to this house, we're getting excited to get to receive some young people. We've got a few staff that are coming on board as well. And so we just ask you to be prayerful with us, to be partnering with us through this, the front end of this launch, if you will, for this campus. It's going to take us a little while to kind of get our bearings. And so we're excited that the connection with the Searcy community, the Harding community, all the roots that we've had going back to this place since the 1950s, that we get a chance to plant some roots in this area and to serve some of the young people that need it the most in this state. This is an 18-acre parcel of land. Got some pastures already segmented for cattle. Obviously, it's got a barn on the property. We're looking forward to putting some horses out here to reinforce Timothy's dream and utilizing his love for horses as a teaching tool for these young people. And obviously, we've got a great pond over here as well that's got some fish in it. And so we're going to probably do some fishing and some swimming in this place, and you know, some baptisms in this place, and just use this as a great spot to be able to congregate, you know, in the evenings and when the sun is setting and when we want to play and it's 100 degrees of sweltering heat here in Arkansas, having a nice way to cool down. So we got a built-in swimming pool. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of land that's about 5 miles to 6 miles outside of downtown Searcy. And so it just gives us a great space to be able to step away from some of the day-to-day grind, but close enough where we can really plug these young people in. And we're hoping that this also will be a light to the Searcy community and give an opportunity for many other people who are hurting and just in need of something that they can also sink their teeth into and support, that this is going to be a place that the Searcy community can wrap their arms around.
Well, we hope that virtual tour kind of gave you a little bit of a flavor. You know, obviously, just real quick thumbnail kind of sketches and you know, seeing little tidbits of our campuses. But you know, God has definitely blessed this organization over the last 40 plus years. You know, it's not been without its challenges. Clearly, the last couple of years, even with some of the growth that we've experienced, have been really challenging years. The state of New York has been a challenge in many ways, just as it's kind of been changing some statewide policies, and it's been made it very difficult for us to have some of the consistency that we would have had previously. But we're very grateful that you know, there's still opportunities to grow, and God's opened up some doors for us. And so as we look to the Tennessee campus, for instance, you know, Brian did a good job kind of talking a lot about the hospitality side, but that campus was acquired with the idea that we wanted to have young people living on that campus. And we were able to get licensed this summer and have now been housing about 7 young people. And there's currently a waiting list, and we're working on renovating 2 other buildings so that we can have 8 more residents join us on that campus. So our hope is by January 1, we're at 15 residents on that campus. And again, that's primarily working with the transitional age youth, ages 18 and up. And so we're really honored that we're getting to do that in Arkansas, in Tennessee. And as I said, in Arkansas, we've already gotten our license and our contract is in place. So those things were in place before we got the house, which is really, really helpful to us, because we're able to, you know, within a month, really turn around and get young people in there. And the state of Arkansas has not really had any transitional program to speak of in that state, working with 18-year-olds. And so they've made a big move statewide to make an effort to really try to expand this statewide model to really intentionally work with these young people so they don't land in homelessness, they don't land in incarceration. And Timothy Hill has always had a very strong workforce kind of training program for our young people, and we've kind of prided ourselves in being able to you know, help young people develop a work ethic. And we've seen a lot of how that's impacted them as they've graduated our programs and gone on and become adults and done different various things in various professions in their lives. One of the resounding themes that we continue to hear is the way that you guys taught us how to work has helped me. So the idea that we would teach young people how to fish rather than just give them a fish and just rely on a system to do something for them, I think it's really an important principle as we're developing them as young men and even young women on our New York campus as well. So so I talked about Arkansas, I talked about Tennessee. I'm up here in Massachusetts right now. We've got a retreat. We've actually got a busload of kids coming up here tonight, and we're going to be doing a leadership training this weekend. So we're getting the privilege to do a lot of cool things. And as Cliff mentioned, we're licensed now and serving young people in 3 states. Massachusetts, we're currently working with a couple of different organizations to get some contracts up here where we can start doing some transitional programming. So our desire is to have transitional programming in every state that we're operating in these 4 states. So really excited to share that with you, because I know there's some people who are hearing this for the first time, even some of our donors and supporters from afar who are probably hearing some things for the first time. So hope that that has been helpful to you. And obviously, if there's anything that we didn't cover as well as we needed to tonight, please email me, email our staff. We'd be more than happy to talk you through some of that, because I know sometimes when we're presenting information like this and giving you so much, it spurs a lot of questions. And on an event like this, it's going to be difficult for us to answer those questions. So we want you to reach back out to us, and we want you to come and visit every site that you can. So we're really excited to get to share this primarily with our Long Island community, because that's what this event was for. But we're super excited. We've got, Paul Crouch and his family out in Oklahoma, and Tim Murphy, I think, is in Florida. And we've got several crews in Tennessee. I think Brescian's tuned in, one of our board members from the Memphis area. And we've got just so many cool people here in Long Island and beyond that are part of this. So what I'd like to do real quick is to give you guys a chance to be introduced to a young man who I began mentoring when I was in college. And I was coming here working in the summers, and he has come back about 30 years later and is a full-time employee and works with our transitional programming. And he's got a few of the guys over there at the Rivet campus. So I'm going to turn it over to Elijah and let him give us a quick little 411 on who he is. Hey, Elijah.
Hey, thank you, Thud. Good evening. My name is Elijah, and it is exceedingly appreciative to be here with you this evening, to share my story with you, and to tell you how such an organization as Timothy Hill Ranch has made my life better. But before I do, I would like to first give praise and thanks to Almighty God, my parents, my spiritual parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hill. Mr. Hill has done an enormous and a great job in my time as a resident. To our executive director, Thud, to our ranch family, and to all of the supporters and donors who have made this event and our lives, especially mine's growing up, but for that matter, for all of our lives, to be what it is today. We are gratefully to you for all you've done. My journey started at the age of 13 on the foster care side in a court in Nassau County. It was there that a judge had said to me that I was to be sentenced to a year to be served at Timothy Hill Children Ranch. And then I was taken to a detention center that was what I believed at that time to be a maximum detention center for juveniles. And then on or about 1989, in June, I was transferred from that awful detention center en route to Suffolk County. I had no idea where I was going. I was a kid. But as I was traveling to the ranch, I noticed that there was a lot of land. And so that was a strikingly different perspective that I had, because every corner I walked on, it was either a liquor store, it was someone selling drugs. It had a lot of things that certainly made me a victim of those circumstances. But upon my arrival at Timothy Hill, it was amazing, because there was a strange man who sentenced me to a year, but I was received by a bunch of strange people who kept telling me that we love you, we care for you, and we are here to ensure that you get the best opportunity. Now, this is being said to a 13-year-old. So although I understood some of the concepts, I really didn't understand how somebody was so mean that favored the same people that were so nice. So there was a conflict that I had. But over the course of the days and the weeks, the staff members that was coming up to me, it was unbelievable of the hospitality that they had. I thought it was a joke initially. I said to myself, at what point is this going to turn? Because that has happened in my life. There's been a lot of turns in my life. And so where I was sentenced to, I didn't know that that would ultimately be a divine blessing. But yet, indeed, it became. And one day in particular, I remember walking down, if many of you have been on campus in New York, walking down one of the roads, you'll see that at that time it was one basketball court. It was at that time that I looked around. I didn't see nobody walking on the basketball court, on the road to the basketball court but myself. And it was precisely at that time when I stopped and I said, I'm gonna help somebody when I get older, because these people who don't know me is helping me. And this is being said again by a 13-year-old. So you have to understand it through the prism of a 13-year-old, not really knowing what's going on, taken from his family, brought into another family that was strange. And yet there were some things that was happening under the new family that I had no idea about whatsoever. And so over the many years, and I've struggled, especially when there was a separation between the ranch and myself. My time was up for me to return back to the same environment that, that had an impact on me for the negative purposes. But over those years, and I was walking these journeys, sometimes perilous journeys, troubled journeys. And every time I found myself in a place, including incarceration, I always reverted back to that special time when I understood what love was and what love actually meant to me, the people in whom were saying it, and how they actually demonstrated it. And it was always at that time when I said, well, this is a good time of my life, because all this other stuff that's going on is not so good for me. I always maintained the job. I always maintained the sense of being able to want to help someone. But I felt those times that there was no spiritual connection. There was a time when it was like, where are you going? Who are you? What was your purpose? And I never knew what my purpose was until one day I was incarcerated, but I was en route to being released. And I stopped and I said, I have to understand two things. What is my identity and what is my purpose? And so I understood that my identity was who God made me to be. And my purpose was to be a servant to those in need. And it came right back to Timothy Hill. And I'm going to expedite a little bit for the sake of time. Or around about 2017, I was talking to one of my ranch brothers. At that time, we used to call ourselves ranch brothers. But this gentleman is like, he's an extraordinary person outside of the other ones that I was residing at the ranch with. And this is Stephen Stevens. I happened to call him out of the blue, clearly out of the blue, looked up his number, called him. And we started dialoguing on the past. And he immediately said, come out to the ranch and talk to the residents. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. At this time, I was doing a lot of security for artists and, have a full-time job. And I said, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make some time. So I got some time. I came out the Riverhead, spoke to some of the residents. At the time that I spoke to them, it was the very time that I felt that spiritual connection, that absolute line of family. And it was also overwhelming. We was in the GP, the gathering place. I didn't want to leave. But I had left so quick because I didn't want to leave. So Steve had called me. He said, listen, people looking for you to take you out to lunch. Where you at? I said, I had to leave. So I didn't understand the spirit that came over me. I was overwhelmed. And so I didn't know what was going to happen as far as my emotions was concerned. So I wanted to make sure that if I did start crying or something, I didn't want people that just see me give a speech say, hey, this guy's crying. What's wrong with him? Nonetheless, I came back again. And I spoke, and then I saw Thud. And these was the words that Thud said to me. He said, hey, Elijah, why don't you come on board and see if there's something you want to do? And you got a lot to give back. And so come on over and love on these guys. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here I am today. I'm loving on these guys at Timothy Hill Children's Ranch. I'm striving upon a daily basis with our team to instill Timothy's vision, his morals, and his core values. We do this upon a daily basis. We see our adversities, our trials and tribulations, but there's no greater idea whose time has come. We sit at the tables, we look at ideas about how we can make their life better. And so I am absolutely grateful for this opportunity and for this privilege to serve in this cause, because there's no greater cause for me, based on my experiences and the things that I've undertaken in life, to actually give something back to those who may need it. So I thank all of you for your attention to my story. I am grateful to Mr. and Mrs. Hill. I am grateful for the residents and the interns that make it possible for us to be able to do the work for their reformation and their salvation. And I thank all of you again for your attention. May God bless and protect us as we continue to serve his will. Thank you and have a good evening.
Amen.
Thank you, Elijah. We appreciate your story, your testimony, and maybe more importantly, just your steadfastness in what you're doing every day to make a difference in the lives of young people. And so Elijah is one of many great successes that have come through the doors of Timothy Hill. And we have the blessing, not just of Elijah, but we have several other former residents who are employees and work with us and are making a difference in the lives of these young people. And so it's really a tremendous blessing to see some of those guys just coming back to give back because they want to, and it's really a lot of fun to get to see those guys as grown men. And in fact, I think we shared this last year at the gala that one of our board members, I hope that he's tuning in tonight, John Paul Puma, is a former resident, and he's now on our board of directors and has just recently opened up his own law firm and going into business for himself after working for some firms for a little bit. But he's got a great story as well, and it's always interesting having a former resident that's now one of my bosses in a room and helping to square me away. So that's great. But it's really awesome. I see Brees and Hatcher throwing up a little message over there from Memphis, Tennessee. So glad that he was able to join us with his family, Jill. So we're going to, this would not be an event that we could close out on without having some jokes from Jerry Hill. So we want everybody to feel good before they leave. And I'll go ahead and steal one of Dad's jokes because what he always says in the spirit of tonight, that the greatest nation in the world is a donation. So we are going to give you the opportunity to give tonight. And there was a QR code on the screen at some point that you can hold your cell phone up onto, and you can just make a donation directly by holding up to that code. So it'll go directly to that link. So anybody who wants to do that tonight, you'll get the chance. And our host groups and our hosts and hostesses, if you have some guests that are there tonight after we close out this virtual event, you can lovingly lock the doors and just not let them leave until they choose to get that link and show you verification. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, no, I'm just kidding. But no, thankfully, I would just say we've had the blessing of a lot of people that have helped us to bring in some resources for tonight. I think we brought in around $60,000, and we'd love to hit the $100,000 mark. So if we could help raise an additional $40,000 this evening, that would be exceptional for us to help us meet our goal. But I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Hill and let him warm up your hearts with some jokes. So Jerry Hill, Miss Fern, good to see you guys. Looking great as always. And by the way, we were here last weekend for a men's retreat up in Massachusetts, and Jerry Hill, at 86 years young, was riding on the back of a horse. And we were not quite swimming with the horses, but we were fully immersed in the lake with the horses. And he was doing it like a champ, as he does many things. So the legend of Jerry Hill continues, and I just want to continue to share that with everyone. But Pop, you go ahead and take us away. And I'm hoping that I know you'll be about 10 times funnier than I ever could be. So we're excited to hear your jokes.
Well, thank you, Thaddeus, and congratulations to you and to Brian and Zach and Greg and everybody that's worked so hard to pull this off tonight and make this such a great event. We're sitting here by the side of our dear friend Elijah, who now works here full-time at the ranch. And Elijah, your story was so inspiring tonight. Thank you for sharing that story. And I'd forgotten that you were 13 years old when you came to the ranch. Yes. And I think it's interesting that Timothy was 13 when he was dreaming about starting a place like this. Wow. And his life was cut short. Fern and I are very, very humble as we think about what God is doing, what he has done, what he will do. And we're thankful for good people like so many of you who are here on this Zoom meeting tonight, who are partnering with us and with the good Lord. And Keith Davis, what you shared with us tonight was such an inspiration. And we love you and appreciate that. And we congratulate you on being our ambassador of the year. And Derek, we also appreciate you and your family and your business. And how worthy you are to be the business of the year that's connected to this wonderful organization. And we appreciate you serving on our board and all that you do to bless lives. Fern, would you like to say a word of hello to everybody?
I would.
And I would like to say that long before I knew, I believed what Paul said about God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. But I hope tonight's program has helped you to see that God not only is able to do above what we can ask or think, but he's able to do abundantly above what we can ask or think. He's not only able to do abundantly, but exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And I can't wait to see what else he has in store for us. And all of that includes all of you, Keith and Derek and Elijah, and those of you who are sitting in and those of you who are here for the first time. We are so thankful for you and your part in just being here and sharing in this great work of transforming lives through the love of Jesus Christ. Thank you.
I'm also thankful for our wonderful board of directors who have such faith and such vision.
Amen.
And I appreciate Thaddeus, our executive director, who's been my director now for about 20 years and has really helped lead the ranch into the future in such a powerful and wonderful way. And we love him and appreciate him and his wonderful family, our beautiful grandchildren. So it's wonderful.
And John Paul says that the only reason he wanted to be a member of the board was so that he could be Thaddeus' boss for a change.
Yes, yes. In fact, we had one of the boys here at the ranch here not long ago told me that he wanted to be able to work here at the ranch when he got out of high school and maybe even college. And I said, well, what kind of job would you want? He said, I'd like to have Thaddeus Hill's job. I'd like to do something where, you know, it doesn't take much work to do it. And so I thought that that he certainly had the wrong impression of Thaddeus's job, because he's spread over 4 states at this point, and he does a great job of doing that. Well, I'll close my part with just a brief story that illustrates how important it is to depend upon God. 2 friends were on vacation in Hawaii, attending a business convention, and they decided to rent a single-engine plane and go flying around the Hawaiian Islands. And lo and behold, they got lost, and they ran out of gas, and they found off in the distance, they saw an island. And so they were able to glide into the water right next to the beach. And so they were not hurt in any way, but they had to get out of the plane and assess their situation. And when they got out of the plane, why, the first guy just decided he'd just lean up against the plane and just wait a while and see if he get some help to come. The other fellow, though, was pretty nervous. He said, I'm leaving. I'm going to explore this whole island and find out if there's anybody that lives here, if there's any food here on this island, see what it is. So he was gone for 2 or 3 hours. He came back. He said, listen, we are in tough shape here. This island is deserted. There's no food on the island. There's no water on the island. And he said, I think we are going to die right here. And the other fellow who was leaning up against the plane said, no, we're okay. We're okay. I make $100,000 a week and we're okay. We don't have to worry about a thing. The other fellow said, what do you mean? You are crazy. No matter how much money you're making, if there's no food and there's no water and there's nobody here and we have no way of contacting people, we're going to die right here. And the other fellow said, no, you don't understand. I make $100,000 a week and we're okay right here. We're going to be taken care of. He said, how in the world could you say that? And what difference does it make how much money you make if we're here and no food and no water and nobody to help us? The first fellow said, well, I can tell you, I tithe at my church. I give 10% every week of everything that I make. And I can guarantee you that my minister will be here in just a few days.
All right. Well, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of sitting around the dinner table with Jerry and Fern Hill, that is a commonplace occurrence, is to get to hear a new story on from Jerry Hill. But thank you, Pop. Thank you, Mom. Mom, you look wonderful tonight. And I know there's so many people as I travel around are asking how you're doing and how you're looking. And if they're tuning in tonight, you look beautiful tonight. So glad that you guys are both able to join us. And I think real brief before we jump off tonight, we just like to do a quick little scan. I know some of the guys in New York, some of our transitional guys are dressed up and had some dinner there at the gathering place tonight. And just want to be able to just say real quick hello to them. So guys, say hello. How you doing? We got everybody over there. You guys excited or what? All right. We got Greg Monfiletto there, who is our Director of Advancement. We got some of our staff, and grateful to see them. Hi, Tracy Nielsen, good to see you tuned in. Tracy's one of our sponsors tonight with Capital One Bank, and grateful to have her. Hi, Tracy, how are you? We want to see, let's see who's up in Massachusetts besides myself. I'm up here, but do we have Sean and Emily hanging out somewhere? Yeah, they're over there hanging around with their baby Locke. And so there's our new directors that have relocated from Arkansas to Massachusetts. So we're moving people all over the country, which is fun. Snatching the Southerners to the north and moving Northerners to the south. So we're having all kinds of fun doing that. And then they're getting ready to host a bus of kids coming in tonight. Tennessee, we got Deontay and Brian over there. Hey, Brian, how are you? Good to see you. Brian Adair is our director, site director over at Center Hill Lake, and has been there with us now for a couple of years, but as our director for about a year and a half and doing a great job. And yeah, we're really excited. So Brian, good to see you, buddy. And not sure if there's anybody else over there from Tennessee. If not, do we have anybody else we're scanning from Arkansas? Anybody? Anybody else? Okay, I think that may be our scan. Who else we put? Well, we got Troy. Troy Matheny is our workforce coordinator for Arkansas campus, and he's up in New York actually training for a couple of weeks. So we're excited to have him, and some of our staff are there in the gathering place as well. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope this has been a blessing. I hope it's been an education for you. Really appreciate everybody who's been a part of it. As we close this out, we will have kind of some of the sponsors and some of the commercials still kind of scrolling. So those who are having host parties, just leave your TVs on for a little bit, and we want to continue to make sure we're recognizing and thanking all of our People's United Bank, Bridgehampton National Bank, obviously our board members and their businesses, Hampton Estates, Craig Amadimo. I don't have the thing right in front of me. I'm probably going to get somebody mad because now I'm rattling off people and going to forget somebody, but forgive me in advance. But Steve Santino from People's United Bank said it sounded like my dad just roasted me. But yeah, these are our folks. We got Paul Crouch and his family, the Nuwala Church of Christ down there in Oklahoma. So we got two sponsors there in the Oklahoma area. Greg D'Angelo, friend of mine, construction. Howard Wright, who's also been our board chair for 40 years and stepped out of that role with the Camp Creek Church of Christ. And he is down in the Atlanta area and still very much engaged in what's going on. And so we're really just excited to have everybody. Daryl Ford, who's on our board as well. Eves Lawson on our board of directors. Really appreciate Eves and his connection with us. He brings a lot to the table. We have the Bruderhoff community. I would have smacked myself in the face if I didn't mention them. We have some, I think we got a watch party up there, Bruderhoff? Sydney, you guys on? Hey, you got Johan, Nancy, great. Good to see you guys. We have a tremendous partnership with the Bruderhoff community. They send interns to us that we employ, and they send special work projects for us when we're doing different things. And they've been so great. In all of our campuses, their community goes out. I mean, if there's disaster relief happening anywhere, they partner with Samaritan's Purse. And I mean, they send workers to go. If there's a hurricane, a flood, a tornado, anywhere in the world, these people are sending folks around the world to help support that. And they just love the Lord. They love serving people, and they love Timothy Hill. And they've been an unbelievable partner for us, and really just grateful to have friendship with them and to have their partnership. And yeah, if I left anybody else, forgive me. Again, that QR code will be on the screen for you guys to make donations tonight. For those who were guests of your host, we would encourage you to help make a donation tonight to help this cause. And just thank you. And I'm going to ask Craig Amadimo, who's been my best friend since 6th grade, who's also Hampton Estates owner and is hosting an event tonight. Craig, could you close us out with a word of prayer, and then we will say goodnight to everyone. If you're around and we can find a camera on you. I'm assuming you're there, Craig. Don't let me down. We've been almost flawless with our technical stuff so far.
You hear me, Thud?
Craig Amadimo.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm here with 10 of us in Remsenburg, Long Island, and thank you for a great night. It's an honor to be a part of such a great organization and to serve on the board. Those of us who know the ranch intimately know what a miracle it is. Can you hear me there, Thud?
I can, yeah. And really quick, Miss Josephine Ewing's also on this call, who's also one of our board members, and I don't want to miss her. But if there's anybody else that we missed, I apologize. Miss Josephine had 2 fundraisers tonight, one night, so she was juggling. But thank you, Miss Jo, for being on the call with us. But yeah, Craig, go ahead and take us out, and we appreciate you closing us out.
Okay, like I was saying, those of us who know the ranch intimately know what a miracle it is. And to those of you who are maybe being introduced to it for the first time, I would hope that you'd explore it more, because it's rare you get an organization that's actually investing in broken people and changing people's lives. And when you do that, you don't just change that person's life, but you change the course of eternity for that person's spouse and future children. So it's a generational thing, and it's just an honor to be a part of it. So if you'll just bow with me. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this evening. We thank you for the people across this United States who've come together to advance your kingdom, to help the orphans and the widows, to help the spiritually broken. Lord, I just pray for your, hand of favor upon this organization. Continue to move it forward. I'm excited to see what it looks like in 40 years. I know where it's come from, and I know where it's going. And I know that God is for us. None shall be against us. Continue to bless the people at the ranch, the boys, the girls, the staff, the board members, the interns, and our donors. So, Lord, thank you for a beautiful evening. Thank you for an evening of friendship, a fellowship. I always think of Fern Hill when she says, I'd rather have 1 million friends than $1 million. So thank you for putting Fern in my path. Thank you for putting Jerry in my path. And thank you for giving me a best friend named Thaddeus Hill, a man who has put his whole life towards helping father the fatherless. He's a role model, and I'm proud to call him best friend. It's in Jesus' name I pray tonight. Amen.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we thank you, Craig, and thank everyone for attending and being guests of our host. And we just love you, appreciate you, and hope you have a blessed night.